Welcome to round 3 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast for the week of July 3rd. I'm Terry Morrow, and I'm here with Nicole Eridix.
Hello.
And Catherine Haleko.
Hello.
We're moms of teens and young adults, and when it comes to parenting, we've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. But we're still waiting for that day when we'll reach the finish line and have no further need to lay down in a dark room with a wet rag over our eyes, worrying about something or other. Wednesday is Complaint Day here on Parenting Roundabout, and today we are complaining about whether it's okay to clean our kids' room. And also, who asked you? So this came from TikTok. I am not a TikToker, so other than the TikToks that wind up on Instagram and Facebook, which I then watch compulsively. But, Nicole, I assume you found this? Our TikTok correspondent, Nicole Eridix, will be telling us about this video she saw.
I did. So apparently, a mom went in and, cleaned the child's room, which was quite a mess.
Uh-huh.
And of course,
how old is this child?
A teen.
Her teen. Okay.
Teen, yes, a teen. Yes. But then, of course, as always, people have something to say about it, in terms of respecting boundaries and, having the child develop some responsibility, et cetera, et cetera. So I thought, well, okay, I am actually guilty of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, when I think back, as my kids got older, I would expect them to do it. And for the most part, they did. But then there were times when either I got super frustrated and just went and did a surface clean, or, and this is what I'll still do now, if they are tired or exhausted or they've just, written 2 9-hour exams, I'm thinking of my son, I'll, not like I would go in and tidy up just to help them, but I would ask them if that was okay. So, yeah, I have cleaned my kids' rooms. I'm guilty of that.
I think, but the question is, should you feel guilty about that? I don't know. I mean, that sounds totally reasonable to me, what you're describing. You're not swooping in and completely redecorating. You're just like, I know
right.
This happens with my son's laundry a lot. He is supposed to do his own laundry, and he does. But a lot of times he's like, oh my gosh, I have no clean clothes, and, I'm about to go into tech week for a show or whatever it is, where
right.
Can you please help me? And he'll ask, and then I'll do it. But then it'll sit by the dryer,
right.
Because where I won't do it is bring the clean stuff back to his room, and that's where we have the standoff, where it sits there and sits and sits and sits. So, but right. It doesn't seem unreasonable to me to. I mean, you live in this house too, yeah. I don't know. I mean, definitely my kids' rooms could use more cleaning than they get. But I also don't think it's a big deal to go in from time to time and pick up a few towels or plates or whatever it is. So
right. Well, and my daughter's room is at the top of the stairs. You walk up the stairs and her room is right there. Mm-hmm. So that one probably gets more scrutiny than anything else, because it's oh gosh, I'm looking at that. And I could close the door, but I know what's going on behind the door. Piling up. So, yeah. But I try to, I don't know. I'm a mixed bag with it. I think I try to be respectful. They might say otherwise, but I've never gone in and redecorated or anything. That I wouldn't.
Because that was part of that TikTok too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no. I wouldn't go in and do a whole overhaul.
Right.
How many times did she ask the girl to clean her room before she went in and did it? That's an important piece of information.
Right.
Because at
Right,
a
I don't
certain point,
know.
if you don't do it, then I think the parent is, well, I gave you a chance and you didn't do it.
Right.
Right.
But
Right. I don't know. Did you catch that? Anybody catch that?
I don't think that was mentioned.
Okay.
if it's just, I gotta wait for her to go to school so I can go in and clean her room, touch all her
Right.
stuff, then you have a problem, Mom.
Right.
Right.
But this is not an issue really in my house because it assumes that the house in general has a certain degree of cleanliness and neatness. That and that the kids are the greatest source of mess in the home, and not I don't know, say the mother. So I have like no leg to stand on in this. My room is not clean, nor is it neat. Probably the neatest bedroom in the house is my daughter. It's a little cluttered, but the clutter is carefully, I think, arranged to her liking. So, and periodically she just fills a trash bag with stuff and throws it out. She's learned now not to let me see it when she does this
Right.
because I will say, you can't throw those things away. Oh my gosh. She'll just like quietly clear decks. But she'll vacuum her room sometimes and she keeps it neat. She makes her bed. She's been doing her laundry for a very long time and she brings it back up and she puts it away and I have absolutely nothing to do with it and it's nice. My husband actually does the laundry for everybody else. And yes, my son his dad does his laundry for him and puts it away and he has nothing to do with it. And his room is awful, but mostly just dusty. We have a dust problem. His room is very dusty, and if I propose going in and doing something about that, he's basically, don't touch my items.
Right.
So every now and then it just gets too ridiculous, and we have to take everything out and dust it and put it back in. But it does not bother him, and really it doesn't bother me because I don't want to touch anything there. If I touch anything there, a whole cloud of dust goes up. We just leave it. So, yeah, I would not be that mom, I don't think. At least not now. Maybe when the kids were younger. I took more responsibility for it when they were younger, and they had less agency, and I had more energy.
Right.
But that's a very long time ago now.
Yeah,
Little hobbles.
I feel like, people getting on their high horse and saying like you should always make your child be responsible for their own room and their own stuff. Like, yeah, go ahead and say that. Like, how many times does that really, really happen?
Yeah.
Right.
You have to
Right.
triage it too. If there's something that's really important, maybe you need to get involved. If there's something that's not, that just bugs you personally, then just leave it.
Right.
If it doesn't bother
Right.
them. But I don't know. We're kind of a live and let live sort of household. At least for that. There are other things, maybe not. But I don't go in their rooms that much anymore. So
I mean, I'm already kind of looking forward to when my son goes to college, getting in there and actually like vacuuming, because there's just too much stuff on the floor. It never gets
That's true.
it never gets vacuumed.
I think that's fair. Once he's moved to college, I think you can.
And he's kind of becoming like a clothes horse. I mean, it's all from
Yeah, he's quite stylish, isn't he?
and it's all
So-
from Goodwill. I mean, it's all from thrift shops. It's not, he's not out there spending a lot of money on stuff. But, just not at a certain point, there's no room for it.
Yeah.
Especially because, if you recall, early days of the pandemic, he turned the closet that is attached to his
Right.
room into his
Right.
like hideout office space. And so when we did that, we put a hanging clothes bar in the corner of his room. So it's because he didn't have like hardly any hanging clothes at that time. So now he does. So that's part of the issue too. Like,
Yeah.
stuff gets washed and then it sits because there's no good place to put it. So
Right. Yeah. I'm probably more like I when the way I was raised is that your bed had to get made every day. Things had to be up off the floor. Like your room had to be tidy 24/7. And it was, checked to make sure that occurred.
Right.
So I think I still have a little bit of that ingrained in me, but I've tried to be over the years not as focused on that.
Right.
But now I see, like, I guess, has that impacted my kids? I don't know. I mean, my son, no, he pretty much just, things are everywhere. And then my daughter, she'll go for, a week or two, and then she'll do a big cleanup and kind of straighten things out and get organized. So,
Well, and as we heard, when she had the new roommate coming, she cleaned.
yes, she cleaned the entire apartment, like the fridge, the cupboards, everything. So, yeah, she went to town with that. So, yeah, so she's still, I guess, as necessary, which I guess is what, it's a good compromise
Right.
in my world.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
Well, I think that's a good place to leave it.
yeah.
And say that's it for today's round 3.
Tune in tomorrow when we'll obsess about learning new things, and then on Friday to see what we've come up with for our Roundabout Roundup picks this week. Find all our episodes at parentingroundabout.com and talk back in the comments there, on our Facebook page, or on Twitter, where you'll find us at Roundabout Chat.